Hey now everyone, it's Steve Sievers for Bionic Buzz. I can't tell you how excited I am to be back at San Diego Comic-Con. Before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate your support. Now, let's go see who we can talk to. So here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passions. Where did your passion to be a storyteller, creator come from that led you on this amazing journey to becoming one of the executive producers to American Dad? Was a certain cartoon, certain movie, or just something that was natural for you as a child?
I was once a kind of an actor once upon a time and didn't make it as a living, but always liked making people laugh and, ended up falling into writing and, was on a lot of unsuccessful shows but luckily ended up on Family Guy and that was kind of opened a whole new door, and then American Dad happened, but mostly just the idea of making people laugh has always been, something that always appealed to me. And sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't, but it's always a numbers game.
Well, speaking of laugh, my favorite episode of last season was when Fran and Stan couldn't settle argument and they have to go into the past. Do you have any fun stories putting that episode together?
There are episodes like that coming up. We have a metaverse episode coming up. We have a multiverse episode coming up. We have another Wheels in the Leg Man coming up. We have another Christmas story coming up where Klaus becomes the Grinch, but instead of being against toys, he's against sex. He swears off sex and feels like nobody should have sex, so he's determined to stop it for everyone.
I'm already laughing at it.
Yeah, and there was also one where the family doesn't think that Roger is a good driver, and they won't drive with him anymore. And so he's so upset by that he takes them. To prove to them that he's a good driver, he finds a spaceship and takes them into space. And I'm not going to tell you any more about that, but it is a crazy episode and a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. Keep up the amazing work, man. Here at Bionic Buzz, we are all about people's passions. Where your passion for a creator, storyteller kind of come from? Led you on this amazing journey to become co-executive producer of American Dad. Certain music or a movie that inspired, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
That's such a good question. I think I've always been really interested in play.
Okay.
I think like all kids, and I just kind of carried that through to as an adult.
So now you play, but
now
making a TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
My favorite episode of last season was the one where Stan and Fran couldn't settle arguments, so they have to go into the past, and then of course they end up switching. Yeah. Can you hear us any fun stories about putting that one together?
That one was written by Steve Healy, who is just so funny, an amazing writer. He was like kind of on the beginning of American Dad, and then he left to do The Office and Veep and all these great shows, and he comes back and gets to play with us a lot. That was, I think, that was all him. And then, the people who were in the room with him. We've been basically split up a little bit over the last 2.5 years in different Zoom rooms, which has been really interesting because normally while we were in the office, we would really mix it up a lot. But it's in these little pods, we kind of all got really close and came up with these fun stories and then got to share them with the other people. So it's almost like we get to be the fans too.
Awesome. Well, lastly, what can you tease about the upcoming episodes? I know we can't spoil anything, but
I can talk about my episode that's coming up, just because I don't want to spoil anyone else's. It's a rom-com for Steve,
nice.
a love story for Steve. Steve is going on a field trip to Philadelphia, and he's kind of fallen in love with this chick in his AP Philadelphia class. Lewis is the teacher, and he doesn't know her name yet. He just calls her Milk Girl because she sits in the front of the class and she just drinks a fuck ton of milk, and without giving too much away, she actually ends up being Reese Witherspoon.
Cool.
She ends up being Reese Witherspoon, and so they don't end up dating, and then maybe he falls in love with someone else on the field trip.
Sounds like a very Hallmark Channel type thing.
You know what? It's kind of. Did you ever see When Harry Met Sally?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it's a When Harry Met Sally for Steve, but Steve is the Sally.
Ah, I dig that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, congratulations, success, and look, take care. So here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. Where did your passion to be a voice actor kind of from? From a certain voice inspired as a kid, or something that was natural for you as a child?
I think it probably issues from my deep insecurities and wanting to be liked, and so I like showing off. And I do weird voices and weird characterizations and physicalizations, and it's fun doing that. I mean, if you want to take a therapist's view of why I'm involved with this, maybe that's it. But my basic explanation is just that it's the most amount of fun that I can have as an actor, and that's why I like it.
Very nice.
That's what I was going to say. It's the most fun job you could ever have on the planet. You know, I did my first voiceover when I think I was 15, and it immediately just was like, this is the greatest, you know, and I was hooked. And I'm still doing other stuff, you know, on camera and theater, but the voiceover was always something I just kept coming back to and really getting into. I just find it so fascinating. And yeah, it's just incredible. It's the best. It's the
a
best
really
job.
fun flavor of acting because you don't have to memorize lines, you don't have to sit in a trailer all week, and there's a great variety of kinds of projects that you can work on for a much, much longer period of time as you age, as I am, that you can just keep doing a variety of stuff. So it's very freeing, very creative, a lot of variety. And it's air conditioned.
That's good.
I guess I have a face for voiceover too. So.
And that too, that helps too.
All right, what can you tease about upcoming episodes of your characters? You know?
Well,
fun adventures.
There's new episodes dropping that continue to step over lines that most people would say I would never dare, but this show dares. And it's to everyone's benefit that they do. They go very far with a Christmas episode. That's
Christmas ones are always good.
Yeah, Christmas episodes are a favorite, and I think this will be a legendary one. This goes so far. It's a spin on the Grinch. It's called The Grouch, and it's about Roger's sexual frustrations, shall we say. And I'm not going to paint the picture any more clearly than that. But Klaus gets to sing a little song about it, which I had a lot of fun with.
Oh.
But that'll be a real crowd pleaser, I think.
Yeah, I think we have some really, really wild episodes coming up. You know, when we all morph into the Scooby-Doo characters, and we go down that whole road, and it's incredibly funny, and everyone does such a great job playing their parts, and it's just
I can't wait to see that one.
I can't either. We haven't seen it, so we recorded it.
Yeah, we probably recorded like a year or so before, right?
It's been a little bit now. Yeah, it's been a while, and so we have some really out there episodes, and it's really fun. I mean, you know, I have a few drug trips that are happening coming up. I've never done ayahuasca in real life, but I get to do it on the show and go through a really wild trip, and so you know, I think that was enough for me to not have to do it.
All right, lastly, I'm from Orlando. You're going to be appearance coming up in September from one of my favorite charities, Give Kids the World Village.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll be out there for a couple of days for that, and hopefully that brings in lots of money and attention to a great cause.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the charity has too many kids come out to Orlando, stay in the villa. They get to go to amusement parks. Don't have to worry about doctor visits and stuff. So, looking forward to seeing you out there supporting a great cause.
That's amazing, Dee. Way to go. That's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
All right, man. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.